supernatural, slasher. We're going to talk about where this film falls into those genres. We're talking Bloody New Year right now. Saturday Night at the Movies podcast.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey everybody, it is Kate Phoenix, and you are listening to Saturday Night at the Movies. Wow, I can't speak there. So I am here with Daryl, aka Mr. Meathook, and Brian, and we are going to actually talk about Bloody New Year this evening. But first off, how are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Still enjoying this quarantine. Being locked in all the time.
Yep. I left the house today and went and did some unessential shopping at an essential store.
What store did you go to?
Target.
Target's fun.
I went to Target and I picked up the NECA Candyman.
That movie freaks me out.
I've been working nonstop, so.
This is my Sunday. I go back tomorrow.
Oh, that stinks though.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So I guess we will get right to this then. So, Bloody New Year. I really like the tagline for this one. The last day of the year or the last day of your life. It's amazing there. But what I was going to do too is go over some of the cool trivia stuff. I really liked the opening song. What was it? The Recipe for Romance or something like that. And with that,
the conga line.
Yeah. Well, and it's in the beginning too, when they're, I think it's in both parts of it. But it's actually, what's really cool, it's by a band called Cry No More. And it's two of the members are actually from the English rock band, the Strawbs. So one of them is actually still in the band, and that's going back to, I think, the mid 80s. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then also, I really like the show Ab Fab. Watched a lot of it. Have you guys ever watched that?
No.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
No. Okay.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
I'm a really big fan of British humor. So, but with that though, for some people that do actually watch it, the daughter, June Whitfield, who is the grandmother, her daughter is in this movie. So it's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
I like weird, random trivia like that. This was kind of getting into a debate last night, so I figured this would be perfect to go over now. So first off, I want to know what you guys actually thought of the movie.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, Brian, you go first.
Okay. So, the movie itself for me was okay. It was weird that it's a New Year's movie, but it's not a New Year's movie because it essentially takes place during the summer. But to me, I don't see it as a slasher at all. Supernatural, yes. But it's just a slasher, no.
Daryl, what do you think of that?
I agree. It's not a slasher.
Yes, victory.
So that's not victory anywhere.
Just because some guy gets his face scratched and a zombie comes through a mirror with a fucking machete, that doesn't make it a slasher movie.
Yes.
It does when there are hooks in nets that do actually slash the person. That is another part of it too. And actually, to give everybody a bit of background here, I had mentioned before that it was a supernatural slasher. And Brian was like, that was not a slasher. And I was like, oh, no, it is.
Okay.
And I have actually done extensive research. I told you this is coming. I have looked into this. I looked into the multiple definitions of the slasher genre, and including what other people consider this film. And it is a supernatural slasher.
No, it's not.
However, it is mixed within some other elements of horror and some slight surrealism. But it is a slasher.
Well, agree to disagree.
Okay,
So let me read you the definition of a slasher, though. Okay, so they adhere to specific formulas. A past wrongful action causes severe trauma that is reinforced by a commemoration or anniversary that reacts or re-inspires the killer. Built around stalk and murder sequences, the film draws upon the audience feelings of catharsis, recreation, displacement as a relation to sexual pleasure. Looking into this movie, there is a past wrongful action, even though I'm not gonna lie, that felt like was just kind of thrown in there. And with that, though, them arriving is essentially what's bringing that memory back to go ahead and, I don't want to give too much of it away, but
yeah, give it away.
For
It's fine. It's from the 80s. If they haven't seen it yet, then
the movie's 33 years old. You can spoil it.
So then essentially with that, I would take it as the hotel itself rather than the tenants in particular that are doing the killing. So with that, I mean, them landing on the island essentially has brought back the memory of whatever was going on before. So I think with that, it definitely meets these guidelines, including the fact that there's slashes and there are hooks and there's a machete. So neither of you are going to. I wanted you guys to at least bring a rebuttal on this.
Okay,
I got counterpoint. Yeah, that's not my definition of a slasher movie. That's not my definition of a slasher movie. My definition of a slasher movie is a killer or killers, usually but not always masked, killing with a power tool or a bladed instrument, and their target is usually 30-year-old teenagers.
30-year-old teenagers. Okay, so I will give you. There was one slasher kill in this entire movie that I would consider a slasher, and it's at the very end on the beach when
the motorboat or the boat motor.
Yeah, the motorboat.
Yeah,
where Rick ends up getting the propeller blade to his head, which they don't even show.
Off-screen
kill.
Hey, that budget there.
I know that budget, but
was it about $9?
Probably. But yeah, no, to me, definitely supernatural.
Yeah,
I will not argue that. But yes, I agree with Daryl when it comes into terms of slashers.
Okay, so with this here too, so following through the actual definitions of slashers, including the fact in the Oxford Dictionary, it even has the slasher genre in there and talks about how they're killed with a sharpened weapon of certain points. But there was the hook kills, which I think those would definitely count. And you're right, at the end, there was them chasing one of the carnival guys chasing him around with a machete. So, and that was there. But to end on this, though, the people that actually re-released the film with that transfer say it is an original hybrid of slasher, supernatural horror, and near surrealism. So I would say it is still a slasher. However, it is a hybrid of all these other things as well.
I can't speak for what Vinegar Syndrome says. I didn't even get to see that copy because I had to watch it on YouTube, and the Vinegar Syndrome transfer that's on YouTube is with commentary. So the one that I ended up watching was like either a really good VHS transfer or a really bad DVD transfer.
With the transfer, they actually had to edit around. Yeah, they had to edit around damaged film. They put that as like a disclaimer in the beginning of the Blu-ray DVD combo thing. Yeah, they talk about that.
Okay, so it's like with what Scream Factory had to do with Slumber Party Massacre 2 and what was the other one? Hell Night.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say this transfer, it was pretty bad. And I don't fault them for it. But...
Oh, well, I can tell you, like, I started watching the one that had the commentary until I realized it had the commentary. And I will tell you, that is leaps and bounds better than what I watched.
Yeah, no, like there was a point to where the colors became all distorted. It looked like the film, as they're doing the transfer, was jumping off the track or something because it kind of like tilted. So, was it the best transfer they've done? Absolutely not. But again, they did what they had to do with what they had.
Right.
So I can't fault Vinegar for that.
So with this, because I know I kind of told you guys a little bit of backstory before we actually watched it, what did you guys think before you watched it? Like, what did you guys think it was actually going to be about and everything?
I didn't think it was going to be anything like it was.
I would agree. Reading the title, you would think, it's another New Year's movie.
You would think
watch
it's misleading in two ways. One, it's not very bloody.
Yeah.
And two, it's not really a New Year's movie.
No. And three, it's not a slasher movie.
Right.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
No. So after I had watched it, I messaged Daryl. I'm like, have you watched it yet? He's like, no, not yet. I'm like, you may like it. It's not a slasher, in my opinion. In my opinion, it was more The Shining meets Evil Dead. These were more zombie types than they were slashers. For me.
They were ghosts, but yeah.
It was zombie. It was like zombies and ghosts.
Yeah. I think
they didn't have the budget to make them translucent, guys.
They try to do too much with the story. I mean, they could have just easily done, the kids just show up and all hell breaks loose. But then they tried to explain the backstory of scientific experiment by the government gone wrong, created a stupid time warp.
It's just a jump to the left.
In the 50s, which caused issues with the hotel's guests and everything, and it was just too much that they just didn't need.
Way to skip to my next question.
What was your next question?
My next question is, what did you guys think of it afterwards? Because I wanted to know, like, before you went into it, like, what you thought it was going to be versus, and then how you feel about it now.
Okay. Brian, are you done?
Yeah, I'll let you take over.
Okay. So I want to preface this with, I love movies that take place at carnivals and amusement parks. Unfortunately, that was the only part of the movie that I liked.
Was the carnival scene? That was
the carnival scene that takes place at Barry Island. Yeah, that's all that I liked. By the way, in case you're wondering, that was Barry Island in Wales.
Another side piece of trivia, there was a Doctor Who episode filmed the same year, set in the 1950s as well.
That's
so
cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that the chase scene I thought, number one, these actors are fucking crazy doing all of their own stunts. Like, there's no way you're going to get me on that ride and just have me fucking hold on. No fucking way. Standing on the outside, not going to happen. Especially with the budget they had, they didn't pay him very much. Probably got like a 6-pack or something out of it.
I would totally do it for a 6-pack.
No. When I was younger, sure. When I hit my 40s, I realized my mortality, and yeah, now I don't do shit like that. The chase there was fucking ridiculous, and it's only partly in a good way. I thought that the whole thing with like the time warp, the time loop thing was just really convoluted and unnecessary. I thought the island could have just been haunted because it was haunted.
Exactly.
And okay. I have to talk about the plane crash.
Yes, wreck. Talk about the plane crash.
I have to talk about the plane wreck, okay? So there's this plane wreck, the plane crash in 1959, right? Like right on New Year's Eve?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this plane wreck that's been there for 20 plus years. The plane's broken to pieces, but it's not charred at all, like it would have been if it had been an actual plane crash. It's just broken. It's like a disassembled plane that was nice and clean, and they threw it out there, but there's still smoke smoldering out of the ground.
It was replaying the events over and over again. Then
shouldn't the airplane have been on fire?
Not necessarily. We don't know at what point, because he actually, if you saw though, he set up camp, so it had to have been enough time for the fire to go out, and he set up camp.
Right, but the fire wasn't out because there was still smoke coming out of the ground.
Smoking.
It was still smoking, but the plane wreck looked like it had never burned.
I mean, we can't all be perfect in our with lower budget.
No, I I'm a huge fan of micro budget. I get that, but that's just, to me, that's a big detail to leave out. It's not that hard to take some black paint, spread it around on the wreckage, and boom, you've got your charred fuselage.
Is that the number one thing that bothered you about the film, or what was your least favorite part?
Okay, it took me 4 hours to get through the first 68 minutes of that movie. It could not keep my interest. It was fucking boring. It was from 1987, but it looked like it was from 1967. And I don't mean that like it looked like it was taking place. And I mean like it looked like it was filmed in 1967. It just didn't feel like it both felt like it was a product of its time, and it felt like it was not a product of its time.
So that was your least favorite?
My least favorite was, everything that happened after the carnival.
That's like the entire movie.
Yeah. Brian, what was your least favorite part then?
The least favorite part would be when Carol and Rick are running for their lives, and the camera does the whole Evil Dead thing where it's just chasing them, and then it kind of swoops around, and they're literally running all over this island for no goddamn reason.
They had to go find a boat.
Okay, now explain to me how they're on a pool table with all these demons and ghosts and shit around them, and the house just suddenly throws them out the window.
Because it's a haunted house.
No, it's
They can do what it wants.
It seems to me like they needed a way for them to get outside and couldn't figure out how.
Yep.
So they just had the pool table throw them out.
Whatever works.
I will say the pool table scene was filmed nicely.
Do you guys have any? Well, Daryl, you mentioned you really like the carnival part. But Brian, did you have any part in particular that you actually liked?
The part where they're in the theater, they play the movie, the projector reels are going. You see the film strip wrap around, I believe it was Rick. And then you had the other guy just walk up to the screen, and then the one, I'm going to call it a ghost, because essentially that's what it was, just pops out of the film and scratches him, and I thought that was really well done. The pool table sequence, I gotta say, for the budget they had, the visual effects was pretty decent. Well,
Except
not visual
for the
effects.
last giant kill.
Yeah, I shouldn't say visual effects, but the makeup effects. Having the arms cut off, all the zombified makeup, making them look dead and everything. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I think the net scene with the hooks, that one, out of all of them, is probably just I would say the realist. Can you imagine getting caught in a fishing net like that with the hooks in it? It would be rather difficult to get out of without at least getting injured in some way.
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine it, because I've had fishing hooks stuck in my hand, and it hurts like hell. So to have that entire net come down on you the way it does with all the fishing hooks, it probably was not pleasant.
Let's talk about what?
No, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
No, it's fine. If we're still talking about the movie, we can continue. I'll talk about.
I'll talk about. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do your thing.
I was just going to talk about the passing of Dieter Laser. So if anybody's listening and they don't know, we lost this past week Dieter Laser, who is known as Dr. Hyder in the cinematic masterpiece, The Human Centipede. So rest in peace, Dieter Laser.
I read he died months ago.
Yeah,
though.
at the
and
end
they
of
just
February.
now announced it.
Yeah, at the end of February, they just announced it on Facebook a few days ago.
We just actually lost someone else too, Joel M. Reed. We lost him to what appears to be the coronavirus.
I'm not sure who that is by name.
He did Blood-Sucking Freaks.
Okay.
Yep. So he's just passed away. Because I know that some people were looking for him. They couldn't get a hold of him, and they ended up finding out that he had passed. He also wrote and directed Bloodbath too. So he's actually, done some but of course, blood-sucking freaks, and with a name like that, that's going to be a really, noticeable one. So rest in peace to him as well. Wow, I can't believe you guys didn't like this movie, though. Going back to that.
Yeah, going back to
actually,
that. I
thought it was okay.
I'm kidding, Kate. You can.
Wow. Hey, another one we discussed. I absolutely love, and you like it too. So that's at least something we got in common.
Yeah, I was kidding, anyways. I would never tell someone they're not allowed to pick movies.
I don't know. I think the reason that I enjoyed this one so much and why I don't know, I really gravitated towards it is that I do really like film that that use the whole time warp thing. And I'm a huge fan of supernatural slashers. I know you guys don't consider it a slasher, but I'm a huge, huge fan of that. So that's why I think this one stuck with me so much as well.
And see, I'm a huge fan of slashers, but not so much supernatural movies.
Okay, yeah, I think that there's not enough. And actually, I have an idea for when I would like to eventually finalize writing and direct it, which would be really awesome. But yeah, probably one of my favorite in the horror genre. It's probably one of my favorite subgenres. So, Brian, what
would you consider a paranormal slasher, I guess?
Well, I mean, I consider like this one. I mean, it has the elements of a slasher. It has the kids, all the essential, I guess, formula requirements. But then something other than a human is doing the killing. So, I mean, this one definitely has all of those tropes, and that's why I think I push on it so hard to consider it one.
Now, to answer your question, Brian, what I consider a good supernatural slasher would be, and some people say the movie sucks, and yes, it hasn't aged all that well, but I don't think it sucks, is the remake of 13 Ghosts.
Well, I love that movie.
Okay. I actually got to watch that a couple of months ago, and I really, really, really wish someone would pick up that movie to do a whole TV show on the, just 13 episodes of doing an episode per ghost.
I would say there's a rumor of them doing it. There was a rumor of it possibly being Netflix or Shudder. So. Yeah,
I would really, really hope that they would, because the movie, I mean, the effects and stuff were great, but the ghosts themselves were what made that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say, would you consider Paranormal Activity a supernatural slasher?
No. I think those are just supernatural stories. They don't have all the tropes that you would need in order for it to be a slasher, based on, I would say, the rules that were presented earlier.
So essentially like Jason Voorhees?
I mean, there are some that actually debate that he would be considered, or that would essentially be considered a supernatural slasher, because it's got essentially all of the tropes within it.
I think Takes Manhattan would definitely push it towards it, to where he was literally just teleporting anywhere he damn pleased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also I'm of the camp that Jason wasn't actually dead ever until the end of part 4.
Yeah.
Like, he never actually drowned. Mrs. Voorhees just thought he did.
I don't know, but then how would you explain the end of 1?
She dreamt it.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, she dreamt it enough for them to repeat that ending 2 other times.
Yeah, because she wakes up in the hospital. So
right, but then at the end of 2, she has a dream. Remember, Jason jumps through the window at them, but that didn't happen. And then at the end of 3, he breaks through the barn with the axe, or with his mask off and blood pouring down his face, and that didn't happen. So yeah, I think the first 3 they just repeated. It was rinse and repeat for the first 3. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I love the whole series, with the exception of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I mean, that actually, I've never heard that theory before, so it's pretty interesting to think about and to see if it would be. I mean, I guess Freddy Krueger too. I mean, those are essentially slashers as well.
Yep.
So, and I would be considered on the supernatural realm, considering he's supposed to be dead. So,
Shocker is another supernatural slasher.
yep, shocker. I like that one. Not a big fan of the cover though.
Oh,
Like
with,
the new
Forrest
art.
Pink. I don't think I've seen the new art.
Scream Factory art.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of their stuff. What was the one with Viggo Mortensen?
Ghostbusters 2.
Oh.
Wait,
It
no,
was a
Vigo.
Scream Factory.
Vigo the Carpathian.
Yeah,
not
the
Viggo
Vigo the
Mortensen.
Carpathian. Sorry, I've slept like 3 hours in the last 2 days.
Yeah, it was I would say House 3 would be a supernatural slasher.
Ah, yes.
Or
Yeah, I could see
the
that.
horror show.
Yeah, the horror
As
show. As it was released here.
And then, what is it? Killer Workout?
I haven't seen that.
No, I think Killer Workout had that.
Is it? Yeah, okay, because I always get that one and the other one confused. Okay, it's not Killer Workout. It is.
Death Spa.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because I always get them. I think we watch them like back to back, so I think that's why I always get them confused. But yeah, that one was as well.
Do you guys have a favorite kill in the movie?
I think that the boat motor kill would have been my favorite if it hadn't taken place off screen.
Yeah, if you would have seen it.
A lot of the deaths took place off screen.
Most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, had they had the budget to do it all, and what pushes me to say it's a haunted house style, it was Janet, to where she gets sucked into the elevator or the dumbwaiter, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
In the spandex wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which they used multiple times.
Yeah,
and
and
I was
the end
like
too.
5 minutes later in the movie too.
Yeah, what
But
they
then
used,
they painted it the next time.
yeah, I would say because you could, it was the arcade room or whatever with the pool table to where they push it through the wall and you see the paint like peeling off it and everything. And
I'm trying to think if I have a favorite kill. The thing that does freak me out about most is probably that stupid net with the hooks in it. I don't know why that one just like stuck with me
because it's the most real.
Yeah. It's something that you would, I mean, is more feasibly possible than any of the others. I mean, gonna have a ghost use a boat motor to your head. I don't think that's very high. Yeah, a person could, but he was technically a ghost. But the hook and net one, I feel like you could just walk into that like a spider web.
And when they first when she first got the net thrown at her, I'm like, why doesn't she just take it off? She's freaking out. And then it revealed the hooks. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that would explain it.
It's alright. She was the most annoying character in the movie, anyways. So
that's true. But I mean, then she kind of turned out to be pretty cool, though, as a creepy ghost person. So, what are your guys' actual favorite slashers on the topic of it?
Mine's always going to be Jason, and then Michael, Freddy, in that order.
Okay, if we're talking actual like the slasher killers, yeah, mine would be Jason as well. But if we're talking favorite slasher movie, it's actually Sleepaway Camp.
Mine, I don't know. I really, really, really like Twitch of the Death Nerve.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I love the way it's shot. I love the colors. I know it's, some of the stuff is a little cheap, but that one I really liked. And the name itself, I mean, just a movie with a name like that is freaking amazing.
I was there. Are there ones?
No,
I haven't, so I'll have to put it on my watch list. Is
it's
there one?
Considered one of the first.
It's considered one of the first. So,
if not the first, yeah.
Because I always hear how Peeping Tom and
I would say
Psycho
Peeping Tom
are
and Psycho.
like the originals.
Peeping Tom and Psycho definitely laid the blueprint for what became slasher films.
Slashers. And then Halloween kind of escalated it.
Halloween basically streamlined it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Twitch, though, was... Because Twitch came out before Halloween, didn't it?
Yes, because Twitch was like 70... like early 70s,
because I think you could actually call it that. Like, I mean, Hitchcock's work and stuff like that... I could see where, but nobody's going to actually call that really a slasher. But I think Twitch of the Death Nerve, and trying to remember the alternate name for it, Bay of Blood. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, I do know Bay of Blood.
But Twitch of the Death Nerve, so much cooler. They should have just stuck with that name.
I don't know. Bay of Blood was so cool. They ripped one of the kills straight off into Friday the 13th too.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Are there ones that you don't like? Other than Freddy vs. Jason, which I'm going to argue with you on that because I absolutely love it.
And you're allowed to, just like I'm allowed to fucking despise it.
Yes, just like I love Scream, and I think it's one of the greatest horror films of all time, and you absolutely despise it.
I would shit on every single copy if I could.
For me, I think the one that I really did not like, and the only reason I don't like this movie is because the ending is Intruder. I love the movie up to the ending.
Was that Sam Raimi? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Okay.
Yeah, then the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the kills and everything on it are amazing, and all that. I love the actors and everything, but that movie just killed it for me.
So one slasher that I absolutely hate besides Freddy vs. Jason.
And Scream.
Okay, I'll say it. And here comes the fucking riot. Everyone's going to thumbs down or unsubscribe or whatever people do to podcasts when they don't like it. Bride of Chucky.
Aww.
Really? The entire series, that's the one you go with?
I mean, well, because Seed of Chucky's without saying. I don't have to say
Oh,
Seed of
excuse
Chucky.
me.
Everybody hates Seed of Chucky.
Lies. I do not hate it.
Yeah, we found the one.
Yeah, we found the one person that gave it a 10 at IMDb.
Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed that one. I love Glenn. Glenda.
I love Bride of Chucky, but then for me, it was the first Child's Play movie that I was able to see in theaters.
See, I've seen all of them that were theatrically released in the theater.
I never got to see 1, 2, or 3 in the theater. So
I didn't see one when it was first released in the theater, but I've seen it in the theater since.
I've seen one in the theater. Saw Bride, Seed, the remake.
I actually really enjoy all of them, including the remake. But I think part of the reason I love them so much is because when I was little, I used to pray to Jesus that my toys would come to life. So any freaking doll movie or toy movie I have to watch, and it ends up being some of my favorites.
If you're watching now as an adult, the Toy Story movies are really messed up. Toy Story, the dolls and toys coming to life and everything, is scary as shit.
Well, I mean, you can tell the animators were horror fans anyways, because the carpet in Sid's room is the same carpet from the Overlook Hotel.
Yes, the Overlook Hotel carpet.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, the writing too with that. But I mean, that's any of those films. They're made for the adults that have to sit through them.
I remember Toy Story 1 in theaters. So
when growing up too, I had to particularly take care of my toys because I was afraid that if they did come to life, they would kill me if I had mistreated them. So I would pray they would come to life, but I would also tuck them into bed every night and everything. And it's kept. I know you guys can't see it right now, but I am sitting in my toy room, which is an absolute disaster at the moment. But I still have plushies and dolls and action figures and everything. So, but I still have to take care of them. It's stuck with me.
Did you guys ever have a Teddy Ruxpin?
No.
I do not, but my boyfriend does or had one growing up.
I had one growing up, and it was terrifying how the eyes and the mouth would move with the tape that would play. So I had this really old Ghostbuster cassette tape that was came with the little book and everything, and I would play it on the Teddy Ruxpin, and his eyes would get like all angry with like the spirits and everything.
I was
they
I
brought
was
him
of
back.
the age that you would have a Teddy Ruxpin when Teddy Ruxpin came out, but I've never had one.
I would say we have a My Buddy doll as well,
Nice.
which is
The inspiration for
With-
Chucky.
Yeah, the
Yep.
new Chucky.
and he does have a creepy smile across his face.
Yes, he does.
All right. So I guess that takes it to me for the worst slasher, and a lot of people love it. I thought it was boring. The kills were okay, but I thought it was boring. I thought a lot of the characters were annoying as shit.
If you say The Burning, I will kill you.
It's not the burning. I
Okay.
actually love the
Okay,
burning.
good. The burning's good.
No. Pieces. I didn't get the appeal. Like
Because
they
You didn't get
played
the
it
appeal.
here.
It's exactly what you think it is.
They played it here at a movie marathon. It was my first time seeing it on the big screen itself, as well as first time period. And I did not enjoy it.
Watch it again, but like in the comfort of your home.
That's what everyone says. I'm just like, I don't want to.
It's such a good movie. I really want the puzzle,
I want the
but
puzzle.
I want a big one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that
Messed Up Puzzles has it.
yeah, I really want that one. Yeah, so as soon as I saw the movie, I was like, damn it, I need this.
Maybe I'll give it a second watch. I don't know.
So going back to the movie, by the way, did you pick a hottie from that film, or are you going with somebody else?
Honestly, I had a hard time choosing. Leslie was out regardless.
And Mrs. Voorhees
that was
looked
a no
like
for me. Yeah. So I couldn't choose either between Nikki Brooks, who was Janet, or Catherine Roman, who is Carol. Both of them very stunning for the time. So I think this week, because I couldn't make up my mind, I'm going to do both of them.
No, Brian, stop. Did you Google them to see what they look like now?
No.
Nikki Brooks wins. I promise you.
Ooh, I want to look this up.
See, now I got to look it up. So Nikki Brooks looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I found the photo of her here. Yeah, she does. She's still really pretty.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
The other one, not so much.
Well, I'm going by
appreciate that you looked that up.
Yeah, I'm going by their looks then. Okay.
Well, I wanted to have feedback on this one because I didn't know who he was going to pick.
So you're saying that I should go with Nikki Brooks?
I'm saying pick what you want. You can do both if you want.
I would say this week I'm going to do.
I'm pulling for Nikki Brooks.
Well, based on the movie alone, I couldn't choose, so I
Okay.
did both of them.
All right, that's fair.
Not based on how they look now, although Nikki Brooks, bravo to you.
She's either
So
aged
then-
really well or she has a great surgeon. One of the two.
Both, I'm sure. So what would you rate this then? Daryl, you're going last.
Okay.
What would I rate? I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So I'm going to go with 3.
A 3?
I'm going to go 3
Okay.
out of 5.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5.
And
Now I'm
here-
ready for this one.
and this I can't wait because we did have a question by our buddy Michael Long. Why does this movie suck? And Daryl's about to lay down the hammer.
I'm gonna give I'm gonna give it this rating only because the first 10 minutes or whatever it is of the movie is at a carnival. I give it a 0.75 out of 5 wacky amusement park chases.
I knew it was going to be a really low number. As soon as I picked it, I knew you were going to hate it.
At the beginning I was like, oh, an amusement park? I'm on board. And then I left the amusement park.
All right, now hold on. I'm going to ask it. had it not been labeled a slasher, would you have given it the same score?
Well, when you told me yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, that movie's not a slasher, I automatically went into it with an open mind. I
Okay.
didn't go into it suddenly expecting. I suddenly went into it not expecting it to be a slasher. So I went into it with just an open mind. Okay, I'll watch this for what it is.
And you still give it that score.
A 0.75 out of 5.
0.75.
So it's pretty much a 1, just rounding up.
Or a 0 rounding down.
Yeah, but we'd be rounding up. It's got to be a 1 through 5 at this point.
Why's it got to be 1 through 5?
Because it was my week to pick the movie, so I set the rules. So yes, it would have to be 1 out
if
of
we're going to
5.
be going with an aggregate score, like at the end of our first year or whatever, for like whatever, we need to figure out, what our top and bottom movies are. We need a correct aggregate score. So 0.75.
Well, at least you liked it 0.75% of the time, or not? Yeah, 0.0075% of the time.
You know what? I have not covered my my indie film for the week.
No, you have not. And I was actually just going to ask you.
Okay. My Midnight Movie Madness this week is the 2004 Joe Castro film, Terror Tunes.
Ah, yay, Joe.
I
love him.
About a little girl played by porn star Lizzie Borden.
Yes, I love her too. She's super sweet.
Yeah, I was talking to her on Facebook yesterday. She plays a little girl who receives a DVD in the mail called Terror Tunes. She watches it, and 2 gigantic cartoons, Max Assassin and Dr. Carnage, come out of her TV and start killing all of her sister's friends. I give that. Now, keep in mind, this movie has a $2,300 budget. It is certainly not for everybody. Like, I can absolutely understand why Terror Tunes has a 3 out of 10 at IMDb. But personally, I love it. I would give it on a 5-star scale. I'd give it a 4.
I still have not seen part 1 yet, but I have seen part 2.
Part 2's
got a
completely
copy of it.
unconnected.
Yeah, and that's what I need to watch part 1 because I love both those people. Got to be in Joe Castro's Xenophobia.
Right.
So getting to meet him there, we were talking about it, and so he let me know when they were up on streaming. So I need to watch it still. Really excited to see it, and of course,
waiting.
the ever lovely Lizzie Borden.
Yes, Lizzie Borden and Beverly Lynn are the main stars in that one, and the first one and the third one, because the third one picks up exactly where the first one left off.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. I need to watch that one as well, but figured I'm going to watch the first one first.
And fun little bit of useless trivia, Terror Tunes 3 was my very first IMDb credit.
Aww.
But I swear that had nothing to do with my rating of a 4 out of 5 of Terror Tunes. It's not what you would call a good movie. But if you're just looking to shut your brain off, watch some stupid shit unfold, and have a good time, that's a good movie to pick.
It's a really hard one to find, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the first one's not that hard to find. 2 is hard to find for less than $100. Every once in a while, Joe's partner, Steven Escobar, has some. 3 has never been released in physical. But they're currently all 3 streaming on Prime.
Oh, nice.
But the first one's not super hard to find. It's like $25-$30 when you find it.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, the first one, I wasn't able to find it for like that price.
Really?
But I didn't know the second one was going for that much because, we were able to get them when we went up there, or over there rather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love him and Steven. They're such good people.
Yeah, I've talked to Joe on Facebook for, probably close to 10 years, and I've talked to Steven just a little bit. But I finally got to meet Joe in January of last year when I went to see Clownado.
Okay, yeah, that's right, because he was there. Yeah, he actually sent me I'm looking for it, but it's a Xenophobia hat, and then it has like a barf bag with foil in it, and it tells instructions on how to put it over your head to avoid an alien abduction.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So I know it's somewhere. This shelf is a mess over here.
And I love
know it's
gimmicky.
somewhere,
I
but
love
it's right.
gimmicky shit like that, like movies that come with barf bags and stuff like that. I love gimmicky shit like that.
Yeah, so we were able to get that, which I thought was really sweet of him to send.
Like, because I buy from Sub Rosa so much, I have like probably half a dozen House Shark barf bags. Because for a while, every time he ordered anything, he'd throw in a House Shark barf bag, a House Shark sticker, and a House Shark tattoo.
I think more movies need to come with barf bags again.
What have you guys been watching? Anything? I know it hasn't been that long since we talked.
I know. I'm trying to think of what I watched. Wow, my brain is like, let's not remember what we watched the other day.
We watched the entire Fast and Furious series. All 8 of them. And
Isn't
then
there 9 if you include Hobbs and Shaw?
Yes, 9. And then I watched the Cursed films on Shudder.
All 3 episodes?
All 3 episodes.
Okay.
2 more episodes dropping. And it's very interesting to hear all the backstories.
See, the first ones are Exorcist, Poltergeist, and Omen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the next 2 are Crow and Twilight Zone.
Okay. The movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we did actually watch scary stories to tell in the dark, and I was actually really impressed by that movie. I was not expecting.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be as good as that. I mean, I read the first book when I was a kid. I couldn't remember anything from it but I know that I had to like sneak read it, and I got it from the library. So it was cool to definitely see all that.
Yeah, we have the newer edition book where it's all of them
all 3
together.
Of them?
Yeah.
And a hardback?
Yep.
Yep, I have that one too. And it's only like $10 at Amazon?
Oh, I have no idea. We got ours at Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, okay. So. I got mine at Amazon, and I want to say it was $10.
Yeah, I have the first 3 like as the separate books, and then the first one even has the kid who originally owned its name in there.
That's cool.
But yeah, definitely was super surprised about that movie. Was not expecting it to be good.
I haven't.
Was actually kind of dreading watching it.
I need to get off my lazy ass and see it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, maybe I'll just force you by picking it as the next movie.
Let's see what I aside from today when I took 5.5 hours to watch a 90-minute movie. I watched 5 movies on Easter. I watched Easter Bunny Kill Kill, Cottontail, which starts with a K, Cottontail with a K, Rotten Tail, Peter Rottentail, and what the hell was the 5th one? Oh, Easter Bunny Bloodbath.
I'm sure all of them were better than this. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Wow. You know what they are all better than? We watched the theatrical Tales of Beatrix Potter. Totally expecting there to be like some sort of like verbal acting, but it's all ballet. And it was really creepy. It was people dressed up in really creepy animal costumes. Yeah, it's a horror movie unintentionally. I knew you would hate it.
I wanted to like it. I love 80s horror, but I guess I found an exception. But you know what? I can still think of an 80s horror movie that is worse than this, and I would never subject even my fucking worst enemy to it.
And what would that be?
It's a horrible fucking voodoo zombie movie called Kiss Daddy Goodbye.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, what's that? I've never even heard of that.
It is fucking terrible. It has the worst child acting you've ever seen in your life.
Are they like evil children?
No, they're just dumb children, and they're played by the director's fucking twin kids. And you can tell that like they're literally just like they learn the lines and then they read them out. Like they have less acting skills than I don't even know who I would consider a fucking shitty actor. They're fucking terrible. They're more wooden than Tom Welling in The Fog.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
By the way, I know no one else can see this, but keeping in the genre of slasher, Daryl, I really appreciate your shirt.
Well, thank you.
You should
And it's
describe
sweet.
it
Yeah, it is
to
a
the audience.
sweet. It is a sweet ass, and I got this from guttergarbs.com. They're still there. I just saw them today. It is a sweet ass Slumber Party Massacre 2 shirt with the driller killer standing there with his mouth wide open with his guitar drill.
Best one in that series.
Oh, by far. And don't get me wrong, I love Michael Vallella. He's awesome, but I like fun movies a lot more than I like serious movies.
Mm-hmm.
And Slumber Party Massacre 2 is so much fun. I mean, what other horror comedy musical do you know of?
I know I could name other horror comedy musicals, but
That are good?
Stage Fright being one of them. I love
Never-
Stage Fright.
I haven't seen it.
A Stage Fright's a good
Okay.
one.
Yeah, but not the old one, the musical version.
The remake.
It's not a remake. It stands on its own because that one is about a bunch of kids at theater camp, and then Stage Fright is at kids at theater, or the original one, or old one rather.
Oh, from the was it 70s?
Yeah, but the newer one, it's a musical. Yeah, that one is freaking fantastic. And Daryl, if you haven't seen that, you should watch that one too. That is a horror comedy musical.
I keep hearing that, but I need to watch that one.
Yeah.
I've been really big on Phantom of the Paradise lately.
Oh, that one's super good too. That soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I somehow never heard about that movie until like a year ago.
Did you watch it?
No.
I was like,
You
give
should
it a
watch that one
shot.
too.
Yeah.
But that one's not really a comedy though.
It has
one's-
humorous moments.
Yeah, but that one is more, I think, drama. I mean, it's Phantom of the Opera, so.
As long as it's not fucking Phantom of the Mall, because fuck Pauly Shore.
I like Pauly Shore.
Yeah, to me, he's the unfunniest person that's ever lived.
Well, Biodome will disagree with you, sir.
Sorry.
Such a good movie. So
I'm
much fun.
going to be honest, and I've seen pretty much all of his main movies, and I've never laughed once at him or anybody else in the movie.
Wow.
I am an Encino man.
No, especially not Encino, man. My God. That movie made me hate Brendan Fraser for like 10 years.
Oh, then what he did the Mummy 3 and continued the trend.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening and supporting us here. So thanks to Brian and Daryl, even though you disagree with me. But have an awesome day, everybody. And thanks for listening, children.
Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog, ow! And you're listening to Galaxy News Radio. We're Radio Free Wasteland, and we're here for you.
Saturday night at the movies. Who cares what picture you see?